restoration block underway that covers much of Puerto Rico. My latest update is we have about 120,000 customers connected. And so at this point now we are continuing to add generation across Puerto Rico and add customers at the same time. So with that, Josie, I might...
La cantidad de clientes, disculpen, no se escuchó la cantidad porque alguien habló, la cantidad de clientes. How many customers did you say, Mr. Stanley?
I'll come back at the end, but right now about 120,000 have been restored. And we'll let Josie speak for a moment and then we'll turn it over to questions.
Muchas gracias. Thank you, Mr. Stanley. Les dejo Josephine Pozo, quien es la directora del Centro de Contacto al Cliente de Luma. Josephine, por favor.
Gracias. Buenos días. Gracias por darnos la oportunidad de conversar con ustedes esta mañana. Nosotros entendemos lo difícil que son estos apagones para el pueblo de Puerto Rico y estamos haciendo todo lo posible para asegurarnos de mantener el público lo más informado posible. Anoche nosotros inmediatamente ampliamos todos nuestros turnos para poder responder a todas las llamadas con un tiempo de espera mínimo. Estuvimos actualizando todas las plataformas de medios sociales, nuestra página de web durante toda la noche para que los clientes pudieran recibir la información actualizada lo antes posible. Nuestro equipo de cuentas clave anoche comenzó las llamadas a todos los alcaldes y a todos nuestros clientes industriales para informarles cómo íbamos progresando con el apagón. Aunque estos son tiempos difíciles para nosotros, nosotros estamos comprometidos a proporcionar el mejor servicio posible para el pueblo de Puerto Rico y estamos aquí 24 horas al día haciendo lo posible para que ustedes reciban toda la información que necesitan y que sepan que los estamos escuchando.
Muchas gracias, Josephine. En lo que se puede conectar o si tiene la oportunidad de conectarse el ingeniero Josué Colón, le estaremos avisando. Vamos ahora a las preguntas. Quiero decirle que tenemos por lo menos 10 minutos de preguntas, ya que el señor Senby tiene otras actividades a las que tiene que acudir en relación a la información que se está dando sobre el pueblo. La primera pregunta, vi por aquí ya Mari Carmen.
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, see.
Sí.
Yes.
Yes, hi, Mr. Stansby. I would like to know when will the service be reestablished for most of the island? At least, do you have a time frame for that?
At this point in time, we don't have a specific time frame, unfortunately. What I can tell you is that our teams are working as quickly as they can to begin to restore service. It's a combination of starting power plants and then re-energizing the bulk transmission system. We would expect that we have a significant number of customers restored by later this afternoon. But at this point, I would imagine we're working well into the evening and likely into tomorrow.
When you say a significant number, do you have a specific number of how many clients might have power by tonight or this evening?
No, I mean, once again, our focus is on restoring customers as quickly as we can, and it's a very dynamic situation. So, we will continue to press forward as quickly as we can, and it is important as we do that we do this in a planned way as well, so that so that we don't have to take a step backwards as we're restoring. But I'm not able to give you a specific prediction.
Muchas gracias, Mari Carmen. ¿Algún otro compañero desea hacer una pregunta?
Sí, Gerardo Alvarado por acá del Nuevo Día. Mr. Stansby, I wanted to know if you have any preliminary cause of the blackout and how long will take the investigation.
So what we do know is there was a failure resulting in an explosion of a high voltage 240 kV circuit breaker that's associated with Costa Sur Unit 5. And that's the failure of that breaker then created a cascading effect in the local substation, which then removed Costa Sur 6 from service and also the Eco Electrica plant from service, and then caused a cascading outage across Puerto Rico. So that's how much we do know at this point. Our teams are busy working in that substation, both to begin to clean it up in order to support the restoration, but they're also downloading information from the various protective relays and control systems. I would anticipate that an outage of this magnitude and this complexity, it's going to take us several weeks in order to get to the specific root cause of the item, but we do know the significant component that failed, if you like, and that will allow us to, given that, we can get the restoration completed and then carry out, as you asked and as I mentioned, begin with a very thorough understanding of what did cause this breaker to fail.
¿Algún otro compañero que desea hacer alguna pregunta al señor Stensby o a Josephine?
Yes, there has been talks about the money that Luma and PREPA have for the restoration of the entire system, and we would like to know if there is any way that Luma or PREPA think that they could speed up the use of that money to restore the entire system.
I can assure you that no one is working harder than Luma these days to progress the FEMA funding, is I think what you're referring to. We've made significant progress in 9 short months with being able to move a very large number of projects through the FEMA pipeline. And as I said, I can assure you no one's working harder than us in order to try and accelerate that funding. And it is important that that funding begin to be deployed so that we are able to improve the state of the system that we're all operating with today.
Alex.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Stensby. I want to ask you a question, if you can answer. Is there any way that mechanically, technologically speaking, or any way that we can change the way that we start the plant's generators? Because being so long and it's going to be too much damage on the plants, and the process to starting back takes too long. I want to know if there
Alex, se perdió la culminación de tu pregunta.
Okay, ¿dónde me quedé?
Me imagino maybe try the chat if it's helpful.
Sí, me imagino que estás diciendo si es una forma adelantar o
¿Escucharon la pregunta? ¿La pueden repetir o la tengo que repetir otra vez?
Por eso, entiendo que te estás refiriendo si hay algún proceso para avanzar o adelantar el proceso de encendido de las plantas generatrices.
Exacto, si de alguna manera hay una forma que se puede instalar en Puerto Rico, si existe algo que permita que las plantas vuelvan a funcionar más rápido de lo que está ahora, porque llevamos 12 horas con unas plantas que todavía muchas de ellas no han comenzado. Esa era la pregunta. Si lo hay y si se puede instalar, ¿cuánto tomaría instalarlo y cuánto costaría? Esa es la pregunta.
Yeah. Sir, he's trying to know if there's any way. ¿Perdón? Se la voy a traducir al señor Stensby para que pueda contestar.
Dale, sí, no hay problema.
Okay. Sir, he wants to know if there's a way that we can speed up the process of getting online the power plants faster, so the power can be restored faster than we are doing it now. And if not, what needs to be done to get them online quickly?
What I can tell you, Alex, is you know, what the teams are undertaking today, last night and today, is you know, is a complex exercise in starting back up the system. As you recognize, we will certainly, as we work through it through the night and through today, we'll certainly make sure we're identifying areas where things didn't work correctly or equipment didn't function the way it should, so that we're able to go out and improve that and fix that for next time. I do think fundamentally the answer to your question, you know, is that that what really needs to happen is we need to continue to invest in the system in order that we can modernize all elements of the system, including you know, not just items like this breaker that failed, but the control systems that that work across the system that would allow for better sectionalization, potentially reduced outages in the event of a similar failure. So yes, there will be a number of items that our investigation will cover and create some opportunities for improvement for us, and we will follow up on them.
Hi, good morning. This is Yvonne Hernandez from Telemundo Orlando. I would like to know, would you consider this to be the outage, the largest outage after the Hurricane Maria?
I can't speak all the way back to Hurricane Maria, but I can tell you this is a very large system-wide outage, which in itself is and should be very unusual. You know, what we're focused on right now is the restoration of that outage and to minimize the impacts to our customers, which we understand are large as people suffer through their lives without electricity. So yeah, it's a very, very large outage for Puerto Rico.
¿Algún otro compañero que desea hacer alguna pregunta para el señor Stensby? ¿Alguna otra persona?
Sí, aló, ¿me escuchan? Le saluda Jim aquí de Bloomberg News.
Adelante.
Yes, I missed the first part of the conference, and I just wanted to double check how many clients now remain without electricity, and how many have been restored, please.
Yes, good morning. So we have about approximately 120,000 customers that have been restored so far, and we would expect that number to be moving up through the day. And that's out of a total of approximately 1.5 million customers, Jim.
Yes, hi, this is Danica with the AP. And again, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to log on in time since I was dealing with another story. But if you could talk a little bit about, you know, what does this outage say about the health of the system overall, and whether, you know, this would have consequences in the near and far future in terms of like probably potentially more outages, or, you know, other equipment that might have been damaged that could cause more outages in upcoming days or weeks?
Yes, thank you for the question. I think, you know, the outage itself does speak to the state of the electric system here in Puerto Rico, which is exactly why Luma is here, and exactly why the transformation of PREPA is so very, very important. And it is to be able to deploy as quickly as possible the large amounts of FEMA funding, make those substantial improvements that are clearly necessary in what is a very neglected and fragile electric system. And then, really to be able to bring the level of reliability and service for all of our customers in Puerto Rico to the standard that they would expect and the standard that any of you would expect, no matter where you are in the world. So, as I mentioned earlier, we will continue to investigate and get to the root cause and the real event that has caused this broad outage, and make improvements in that as well. But it does clearly indicate, once again, the fragility of the system that we're all working to improve.
¿Alguna otra pregunta de los compañeros? Bueno, pues agradecemos ciertamente su participación en esta conferencia virtual sobre actualización de lo ocurrido anoche en el área de la subestación cercana a Costa Sur. Estaremos trabajando junto a PREPA conjuntamente, ¿verdad? Incansablemente, para poder restaurar el sistema de la forma más razonable, prudentemente rápida y con la seguridad de nuestros empleados. Y estén pendientes que vamos a estar dando más actualizaciones según tengamos las mismas. Agradecido por su comparecencia y que tengan buen día.